Guys, I'm Jerry Miller, and thank you kindly for joining us on the I Love CVille Show. A pleasure to connect with you guys through the flagship show on our network, the water cooler of content and conversation in Charlottesville, Albemarle County, Central Virginia, the University of Virginia, and the Commonwealth. The State of the Union is tonight. Will you be watching Donald Trump as he offers his perspective on how the country is performing from an economy standpoint, from an efficiency standpoint, and a number of other outlook talking points from our president. Judah Wickhauer and I will deliver our State of the Unions on the I Love CVille Show. Today, we'll offer 4 things to watch with Trump and 4 things to consider in Charlottesville, Albemarle, Central Virginia, and in the University of Virginia. A lot I want to cover on the broadcast today, including a better use of the English language for one of our headlines. Yesterday, and it was a shortened show because I had a meeting of significance, 2 of them yesterday. One, a call at 1:15, and then an in-person meeting in the 2 o'clock hour, but a full show today. I use the word commoditized. Are UVA professors and support staff more commoditized than ever right now? I think a better word is disenfranchised. So we've adjusted that headline. Last year, UVA professors, support staff, TAs, grad students, researchers, librarians, admins, whatever, however they're monikered, were vocal. They were loud. They made their feelings known locally. They vehemently opposed the ouster of Jim Ryan. And they let the world know. And it seemed at the time that UVA's professors, its faculty senate, its support staff were starting to gain traction. And by traction, I mean a seat at the table and a voice of decision making. Now, in the first quarter of this year, as the days go by and as Scott Beardsley, the newly minted president, is less newly minted and more the president of the University of Virginia, every day that goes by, his job is more secure and safe. Support staff, faculty, professors, assistant professors, GAs, TAs, researchers, admins, librarians have to ask themselves, are they more disenfranchised than they've ever been? The protests seem to have fallen on deaf ears. They had zero say on who the next president would be. They have now lost a position as it applies to collective bargaining, which we will highlight on the show today. And you can make a legitimate argument as the world becomes a more connected and tethered world, as the world becomes a smaller place because of ubiquitous technology, because of ISPs, because of artificial intelligence, because of Zoom, because of teleconferencing, and all the advantages and disadvantages that come with it. The role of a professor, an assistant professor, a non-tenured professor in particular, is one of disenfranchised and commoditization. I've been following and Handsome Hank Martin had some content on his Facebook page of late. Let's put his photo on screen. This gentleman started watching the I Love CVille Show on the I Love CVille Network a couple of weeks ago, and I think he significantly contributed to the program already. He's a Star Trek fan, which really resonates with Judah Wickhauer. He had some content on his social media about the fall of the software engineer. In particular, the software engineer that's kind of a mid-level engineer, not the top tier, most sophisticated, most expert engineer, but the run-of-the-mill engineer is just being eradicated and cannibalized and diminished from our economic society. I think there will always be a position in America for the top 10% of output, regardless of the line of work. If you're the top 10% garbage collector, if you're the top 10% window washer, if you're the top 10%, server or bartender, the top 10% CPA or accountant or bookkeeper, top 10% in administrative task or software engineering, there will be a place for you in society. But the output that is in the middle position of the pyramid is being cannibalized by technology. and you're starting to see that in academia, I think we'll eventually be in a society where top 10% professors will no longer have to, hang their license, so to speak, a realtor term or terminology, with a university or a college. I mean, if you're a Ken Elzinga or a Larry Sabato or a Lou Bloomfield, and the year is 2050, heck, this could even happen in the year 2030. Stuff is moving so quickly. Why do you need to go through the bureaucracy and the red tape associated with employment at a college or university? Why not just build a digital, infrastructure like what I'm doing right here, where you're utilizing social media and technology and digital resources to pass along your curriculum, your brain, your knowledge to the masses, and you do so behind a paywall, and you cut the university and the college out altogether, and you keep all the money. I mean, the technology is that good. You're talking about a commoditized profession. They're everywhere. And when you hear tonight with Trump's State of the Union about the rosy outlook, the positive outlook of the American economy, you should cringe and push back. Some of these data points are smoke and mirrored because of artificial intelligence. An economy that's backstopped by AI is not an economy that has momentum or tailwinds, not from my standpoint. We'll talk about that on the program today. I want to cover on the show some programming notes, Judah. First, I want to give some attention to JerryRatcliffe.com, friend of the program. We host a show Tuesdays at 10:15 a.m. on the I Love CVille Network called The Jerry and Jerry Show. There are big things in the works for JerryRatcliffe.com. I think that announcement will come, maybe Wednesday or Thursday of this week, as my firm is choosing to work in joint venture and get more involved with the JerryRatcliffe.com business model. We help businesses grow market share and drive incremental revenue. That's what we do here. We put deals together. We help people actualize business models by connecting them with building owners, with capital, with lending, with the right people, because we've been doing this for 26 years. That's literally what we do here. And we're going to be doing it with JerryRatcliffe.com with some news of significance, maybe 24 hours, maybe 48 hours from now, certainly before the basketball game on Saturday that has number 1 in the country, Duke, hosting number 11 in the country, UVA, in Cameron, a contest of significant proportions. So stand by with that on JerryRatcliffe.com. Thursday of this week, Philip Riese will join us. He's the chairman of the Albemarle County Republican Committee. He is newly minted, just earned the moniker chairman. He'll be in studio on Thursday, a Q&A for all thing, not just Republican, not politics, but all thing Albemarle County, Charlottesville, schools, economy, government, taxes, spending, small business. He's a small business owner. The escape rooms, Unlocked Escape Room. Yeah. Philip Riese, family man, 3 kids in Albemarle County Public Schools, husband, wonderful wife, beautiful wife, never met her, just seen photos. Thursday at 12:30 p.m., I Love CVille Show, Phil Riese. One other programming note, next week, and details to come, there's going to be a new talk show on the I Love CVille Network. It's going to be an interview format, Q&A talk show. I will not be hosting it. It'll be, did we decide on Wednesday morning?
I'm not sure.
Wednesday morning? Well, you were a part of the group text and the comms there.
I may have been busy with other things.
I see you did not read the comms over there. Wednesday morning, the new talk show is going to air on the I Love CVille Network. It's going to be one that I am not hosting. It will be a savvy host who is welcoming individuals, where he will spend 45 minutes picking the brain of individuals in this community of significance and noteworthiness, and highlighting their time on this planet and biographical type of podcasting capacities. Very excited to see the I Love CVille Network continue to grow and expand. Being straightforward here, the metrics back it up. There is no brand or platform that is reaching more people in this 300,000 person region called Central Virginia than I Love CVille, except for UVA. UVA is 1, we're number 2, and it's not even close, 3, 4, and 5. We encourage you, the viewer and listener, to like and share the show. We work hard for you. That's the only thing we ask in return. Carol Thorpe, Elliot Harding, Jason Noble, welcome to the broadcast. Print, radio, and television is watching the show. Vanessa Parkhill, Philip Dowd, Tom Powell, Spencer Pushhard on the show right now. Counselors and supervisors on the program right now. We'll give some props to 919 Druid Avenue. I drove by this over the weekend. Beautiful cottage, beautiful bungalow in Belmont. Walking distance to literally everything. 919 Druid Avenue. It's coming soon. It's about to be active. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 1,634 square feet. Fantastic lot. Income producing basement apartment. Finishes and fixtures of top line talent. The team behind 919 Druid Avenue is one of experience and brand tested, market tested. Katie Mullins is the realtor. She's fantastic. Her husband, Ben Mullins, the owner of Blenheim Builders, and Chris Coyner, the owner of Decim Design Build. That team purchased a non-loanable piece of property in Belmont, a house where you could not get a loan on. They sweat equity, blood, sweat, and tears, remodeled the project, now are about to bring it to market with an active listing in the very near future, adding inventory to a throttled real estate ecosystem. This is the American dream. This is called social entrepreneurship or conscious capitalism, where you're running a business in the black, but doing it in a way where you leave the environment in a better place than when you first arrived. Props and kudos to Ben Mullins, Chris Coyner, and Katie Mullins. Studio camera, Judah Wickhauer. Trusted name in this game we call media. The headline that you find most intriguing and why. We have Virginia basketball playing NC State tonight. The Wahoo's a 6.5-point favorite, the 11th ranked team in the country. I'm going to be watching that while I'll also having a 2 television setup, Trump's State of the Union on at the same time. Wow. So I'm going to be Trump, State of the Union, Ryan Odom should be the National Coach of the Year, ACC Coach of the Year, slam dunk after the victory against Coach Lucas in Miami on Saturday at the John Paul Jones Arena. I think he's got the ACC Coach of the Year locked. Now the shortlist for National Coach of the Year. You, State of the Union guy, or you Star Trekking with Handsome Hank tonight?
Star Trek's on TV?
Star Trek's always on TV.
I know, now that we've got streaming.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I don't know. I may try to watch it, but I'm sure there'll be a very good rundown in every major newspaper tomorrow, and I don't really have much hope that Trump won't be bragging and showing off and just essentially. I think it. I'm hoping it's not just a complete waste of time.
It's going to be the economy. It's going to be tariffs. It's going to be foreign policy. It's going to be border patrol.
Yeah.
It's going to be hyperbolic. It's going to be embellished. Mm-hmm. It's going to be high energy. There's going to be a lot of promises. Some will call it a poop show. Others will call it must-see television. Regardless, it will drive the ratings. Mm-hmm. On a Tuesday night where there's not much quality content on TV, except for Ryan Odom hosting NC State and this Wolfpack team at the John Paul Jones Arena.
And we have our own Virginia governor who will be giving the Democratic response to the State of the Union.
Abigail Spanberger is going to give the Democratic response for the State of the Union. I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
That Abigail Spanberger is giving that response. Abigail Spanberger is clearly politically ambitious. Speaking of Virginia Democrats, this was sent to me by someone who asked for anonymity, someone who was perusing the House and Senate budget committees, which released their reports this past weekend on their respective budget bills. This individual who asked for anonymity noticed that both the House and the Senate have added funds to the budget in the second year to cover the cost of salary increases for legislators. He then shares links to the reports below, and he says the reason the increase would take an effect in the second year of the biennium is that there must be an intervening election for all General Assembly members. Both the House and Senate will, as you know, be up for election in 2027. And he says it reminds him when City Council, which generated a lot of buzz on this show, as he said, approved a significant raise for themselves, $18,000 current pay to $34,000 soon-to-be pay for council members. Mm-hmm. He says, will it generate the same kind of attention in media cycles that the General Assembly is basically saying, hey, let's vote to give ourselves more money? There's obviously Republicans that are going to point to this and say, hey, you ran on a campaign and a platform of affordability for Virginia, and here, as you have total control of the government and the Commonwealth, you're going to basically pad your wallets.
It's a pretty large raise, if I'm not mistaken, too. Didn't I read somewhere that it was they were taking it from $18,000 to $45,000 a year?
Did you read that? Is that the number you read?
Let me see.
So
if I can
something
find
to bring to people's attention. We don't need to get in the weeds on that. Let's go with the State of the Union as it applies to your life, the America you know today, Charlottesville and Albemarle, Judah.
I'm not sure how good I am at giving a State of the Union, but I think in terms of what's going on today, we're clearly seeing a lot of headwinds, whether it be in the food and beverage industry or in the housing industry, and I think that I think that we're probably not going to get that addressed in the State of the Union. I don't know how we go about fixing the problems right now. I think part of it is that nobody's working together anymore. Not nobody, but by and large, the noise that we hear is about one side wants this, the other side wants the exact opposite, and it oftentimes seems like no one is working together. Though I was gratified with some of what John McGuire had to say in terms of being willing to reach across the aisle.
From $18,000 to $45,000 for the General Assembly. This marks the first pay raise for lawmakers since 1988. The salary increase approved as part of the budget is scheduled to take effect in January 2028. Following the next election cycle, $18,000 to $45,000 for the General Assembly. And the individual that put this on my radar said, you made a big deal about an $18,000 to $34,000 raise for the Charlottesville City Council. Will you make a similar deal about the General Assembly that's now all Democratic controlled, making approving an $18,000 to $45,000 raise? I'm extremely cautious when we see compensation increases of that significance.
Yeah.
Let's take a homeowners association. As someone that owns real estate in a handful of homeowners associations in Charlottesville and Albemarle County, and as someone who is on a board of a homeowners association, actually two in Charlottesville and Albemarle County, I am always of the mindset, let's incrementally raise our members with their dues. Mm-hmm. And let's try to go 2, 3, 4, 5%. I'm always the voice on the board that's trying to keep the budget the same, figure out ways to keep dues the same. I'm always the loudest. There's always someone on the board that's the opposite of mine, that's always looking for a capital improvement project of significance, whether that's some kind of amenity, some kind of playground, some kind of swimming pool, some kind of gut job for new bathrooms, facades, front doors, courtyards, whatever it may be. I am always, let's do what we have and keep it there a little bit longer so we can keep more money in the pockets of the owners. But when we do have to do raises, I begrudgingly say, let's do this yearly and incrementally, because what no one wants is the special assessment.
Right.
Special assessment is the ugliest, nastiest form of HOA fee, where you're going to your owners and you're saying, you need to give us thousands of dollars for this project. It's not in the budget, and if you don't do it now, we'll figure out a way for you to finance it with our association out of our coffers at some kind of interest rate, but you have no choice to do it. When city councilors green light compensation in Charlottesville from $18,000 to $34K, or when the Albemarle County School Board gives itself a massive raise like it recently has done, or when the General Assembly green lights compensation from $18K to $45K, and they point, hey, we haven't had a raise since 1988. That's your fault.
Yeah.
The society, any other line of business is not nearly, is 2.5xing, nearly 2.5xing their pay.
Right.
So there's my commentary on what Virginia Democrats are doing.
I feel the same way. It's a massive raise, and I have no problem with them getting a raise, seeing as how it's been so long since they last gave themselves one. But doing it all at once is a kick in the nuts for a lot of us, I think, who are just like, hey, we're all struggling right now, and you're gonna, more than double your pay.
Now,
must be nice.
Let's get to the State of the Union. Carol Thorpe's watching the program, her photo on screen. Of course I will watch the State of the Union. I watch them no matter who the president is, and every president paints a rosy picture. We ought to apply our own knowledge, insights, and intelligence while listening. It's not a lazy civic activity, or at least it should not be. Respect for Carol Thorpe, one of the very smart people in our viewership and listenership. Logan Wells Kalelo, welcome to the broadcast, and thank you for watching the show. Ginny Who says, I always watch the State of the Union no matter who the president is. Ginny's photo on screen. I like to make up my own mind about what is said, and I certainly do not trust the media to summarize it for me.
That's good points.
Ginny Who also adds, students would have to search for it because it's not mainstream media and it was not covered. But I would encourage students who protest ICE to watch the Angel Family's remembrance ceremony from yesterday and discuss it. I will check that out. I missed that, Ginny. I respect you. I will make sure I see that. Jason Noble, on the other hand, who is conservative in his ideology, says, if it hasn't been raised since the 80s, then a raise isn't unreasonable, is what Jason Noble says. We have no problem with an incremental raise, Jason. My problem is when the raise is a 2.5x raise.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Now, in regards to the State of the Union, and Barbara Becker-Tilley and Conan Owen, we'll get to your comments here in a matter of moments. We'll give some attention to Charlottesville Sanitary Supply and Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company, online at charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com. Anything sanitary related on your doorstep the day of or the next day, free of charge in our area. Price points that beat the big box brands, and you're supporting a locally owned and operated business, Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, that's been in business for 62 years in our community, owned by the Vermillion family, which is 5 generations in Albemarle. And their sister company, Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company, is who you contact for anything swimming pool related. Charlottesville Swimming Pool Company, charlottesvilleswimmingpoolcompany.com. The State of the Union is going to be focused on the economy, tariffs and how tariffs are impacting the economy, Border Patrol, ICE enforcement, foreign policy.
Yeah.
Okay. I see a Charlottesville, just like I see a Virginia, just like I see an Albemarle, just like I see a Charlottesville City, just like I see a University of Virginia, that is much more fragile in 2026 than it was in 2019 before the pandemic.
Yeah.
From 2019 to 2026, I'm going to give you talking points to consider with your partners, your husbands, your wives, your children at the dinner table tonight. 2019 to 2026, the cost of living has escalated ridiculously. I was looking at the assessment of our home on the Albemarle County GIS. And the assessment of our home on the Albemarle County GIS in less than 2 years, or excuse me, less than 10 years. I'm going to give the exact number. Judah Wickara, are you ready for this? Mm-hmm. In less than 10 years, Frankly speaking, in 7 years, the assessment's 2x'd according to the Albemarle County
Wow.
GIS. That's not just attributable to COVID. That's attributable to a number of other factors.
Yeah.
Has someone considered the price of a vehicle of late, car or truck? There's a reason car loans, automobile loans are now 7 years of the variety, because people need to squeeze the payment down as low as possible. Can you imagine a 7-year period of time to pay a depreciating asset that drops 45% as soon as you drive it off the lot? We'll give you 7 to 8% interest rate. We'll have you pay it over 84 months, and as soon as you drive it off the lot, its value drops 45%. How about the increases of compensation over 2019 to 2026, and whether they've kept up with the cost of living? How about tax positions? How about grocery positions? How about the job market? How's the job market? The impacts of the job market aren't just blue collar feeling the effects now. When white collar folks, there's someone very, very close to me that has a CPA degree. Extremely intelligent and talented person. Finds out the first Monday after Christmas that he's been laid off. Is given 90 days reprieve by his employer, and is forced to sign a non-compete if he wants any kind of compensation over that 90-day window.
Wow.
Does it, of course, because he's expecting a newborn in August. And you're talking college degree, college educated, upper 30s, CPA degree, super smart guy. CPA certified. Barbara Becker-Tilley watching the program, her photo on screen. Then Judah, you jump in with some perspective tied to Charlottesville, Albemarle, and Central Virginia. She says, conservative, I'm a conservative independent here, Barbara Becker-Tilley. I don't bother watching it. It will be overinflated and pompous boasting. The media will spin this as all negative. The head liar and chief governor for Virginia will attempt to paint herself as the next best presidential choice, and those of us in touch will recognize where our issue is here in the United States, in Charlottesville and Albemarle and Central Virginia. The remainder is all just noise. So there's a conservative independent that won't be watching. Conan Owen is watching the program, the owner of Surspedia Central Virginia. Why should the employees have a say in who the leader of the organization will be? Is academia so divorced from the real world that the employees think they get to choose? Why even have a BOV? Just let the employees decide all the policies. That's his comment in response to me asking if UVA professors, tenured or non-tenured, support staff, grad assistants, TAs, researchers, admins, and librarians are more disenfranchised or commoditized than ever at the University of Virginia. My answer is a clear-cut yes. You can set the stage for collective bargaining and what's happening with them. You ready to do that, Judah Wittgauer?
Yeah, I think so. There was recent news that the workers at UVA have been left off a collective bargaining bill that's set to go forward. And there was recently a meeting at the Charlottesville, was it Charlottesville High School? Let's see. There was a town hall at Charlottesville Middle School with campus workers from UVA. It was hosted by the United Campus Workers of Virginia's UVA chapter, and they are discussing the fact that they are losing, not losing, but the General Assembly is moving forward with a bill and has cut the campus workers out of consideration.
Holly Foster's watching on YouTube. She says she agrees with Miss Barbara Becker-Tilley on YouTube. Holly Foster, tremendous respect for her, the Queen of Henrico, watching the program. So what do you do about it?
I don't know that there's a whole lot they can do. It sounds like I don't have any clear reporting on this, but it sounds like UVA has worked to ensure that the campus workers were kept out of the bill and the collective bargaining agreement. For obvious reasons, it's more cost effective for them if their workers are not collective bargaining. Home care workers were also removed from the Senate's version of the bill, and the groups, I believe, are all advocating for each other. There are also plans for similar town halls as the one at Charlottesville Middle School for campus workers at VT, Virginia Tech, George Mason University, Christopher Newport University, Old Dominion University, and William and Mary. So we'll see what they're able to do.
Hank Martin watching the program. Love when Hank Martin watches the program. We've dubbed him Handsome Hank. A thriving community depends on its largest employer setting a strong example. When that employer models fairness and competitive pay, it lifts the regional labor market. When it does not, it constrains the regional labor market. Competitive compensation is not charity. It is an investment in stability, retention, and institutional credibility. If the University of Virginia wishes to lead in excellence, it must lead in how it values and compensates the people who sustain its daily operations. Hank Martin, what is your background professionally,
Well
out
said.
of curiosity? And that was extremely well said, Hank Martin. Can you put in the chat box what your background is professionally? Jason Noble says, UVA execs don't give a rat's ass about their people. Interesting tidbit from the Virginia media, UVA Today, the media arm of the University of Virginia. The UVA health system, UVA hospital, has been monikered one of the best places to work and one of the best employers. I find accolades like this genuinely so disingenuous that they can be disregarded. And there's no doubt that there's many aspects of the UVA health system and many people, most importantly with the health system, that should be commended and saluted and applauded and championed, okay? But there's a lot of rotten apples that have spoiled the barrel. And when the Becker's Hospital Review lists 100 great hospitals in America, and the UVA health system is ranked as one of the top employers and top hospitals in our nation, you ask the question, hey, whatever happened with the alleged white-collar racketeering and the alleged medical chart changing and the alleged performance of dangerous surgeries to position profits over patients? Whatever happened to kind of juking the stats? That's a Wire reference from Comstat with medical charts to maintain national rankings like this.
Yeah.
Is that story just now forgotten?
And I think it's good to ask what's the criteria of this decision, these institutions. How are you coming to this decision? Or is it just whichever university is sending your magazine the most money?
Yeah, a lot of the awards that go to a lot of these, like lawyers, for example, these awards that you see in the magazines that are on the airlines.
I was just going to mention that. Yeah, you've got like 10 pages in the middle of the magazine that are like the 10 top doctors in America today.
You see this in real estate. You see this with lawyers. You see this with agents. You see this with doctors. A lot of these are not earned through authenticity,
right,
and genuine performance. Mm-hmm. They're pay for play.
Right.
It's the proverbial participation trophy with Little League Baseball. You give us the $35 or $55 sign-up fee, you get a hat, you get a shirt, and we'll promise your kid will get a 7-inch trophy that he can hang on the mantle, despite your kid hitting below the Mendoza line and his team the doormat of the league standings. I don't want any participation trophies for the Mendoza line. You want to look that up?
Yeah.
The The Mendoza line's a baseball reference. You know what that's tied to,
I
Judah?
figured it was, but
No kid hitting below 200. That means when you get 10 plate appearances, you make connection and get on base less than 2 out of 10 times deserves an 8-inch trophy. And that goes for even kids that are 8, 9, or 10 years old. That's not how life works.
it's pretty harsh.
It's not harsh. It's reality. My kids certainly are aware of it. You disagree?
Would you destroy a trophy if someone gave them a trophy they
You
were
hit below the
undeserving of?
Mendoza line, you're not only losing the trophy. Give me the hat, the glove, and the shirt.
Oh, man.
And reimburse me the $55 fee to be a part of the Little League.
Sorry, baseball's just not your game.
Tina White and Brian Breeden watching the program. Tom Powell, the founder of Toy Lift, is watching the show. Spencer Pushart is watching the show. It's not up to us to be cuddle buddies. While we are cuddle buddies, there's few things I enjoy in life more than cuddling with our 3-year-old. I've created a little bit of a Pandora's box. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, so on the weekends I put our 3-year-old down for nap, and I put our 3-year-old down for bedtime. And while nap time on Saturday and Sunday, he goes to nap around 2 o'clock. Sometimes I'll lay in there with him. A couple of times I've actually fallen asleep. And then next thing you know, you're cuddling with him at 2 o'clock nap, and it's leading into the 8 o'clock night session. And we still have one of those baby monitors in his room where you have the little screen in your room as parents, and you can hear and watch what he's doing. 4:30 in the morning, I hear him screaming, "Dad, Dad, Dad, cuddle me, cuddle me, cuddle me." So I went down there as if it was a cat in the back of an Italian restaurant, poured him the proverbial milk in the saucer, and gave him some spaghetti so he can, what's the dog that slurped up the spaghetti and kissed the other dog? The Disney show movie?
It was The Lady and the Tramp.
I Lady and the Tramped him with some spaghetti and some milk, cuddling him at 4 a.m. That's a back alley cat scratching at the door every night at 4 a.m., expecting the same. Trained behavior. So weak and soft, Jerry. But there's no participation trophies. That's for damn sure. Elliot Harding is watching the program, the Esquire, talented defense attorney. He says no participation trophies. If you're not first, you're last. That's Ricky Bobby, and that's how the Harding house is running their abode. I could totally see Elliot Harding saying that. Elliot, I literally was saying to my wife this weekend that you and I need to get a beer again. Handsome Hank says he was born and raised here. Albemarle High School class of 1981. I have served in numerous positions during my career: HVAC, plumbing, sales, fire wholesalers, kitchen design. In 2006, I established Forever Albemarle, advocating for property rights. I successfully put Dwayne Snow and Rodney Thomas onto the Board of Supervisors in Albemarle County. I see Charlottesville morphing into what it is now daily. Hank Martin, you have made the program better since you started commenting. So he's born and raised here, Albemarle High School class of 81. That means, doing some quick math here, what were you born in, 62, 63 in Albemarle County, Handsome Hank? You are
right.
Legitimately have made the show better, sir. I sincerely mean that. More comments, please. Welcome to the family. Thank you for joining us. The health system accolades are a shell game or a smoke and mirror game done by an extremely talented and deeply employed UVA media division that pumps content prolifically on the regular at UVA Today that is cherry on top Sunday content. There's no meat and potatoes, it's the cherry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to us to try to see through that. So I try to do, at least. I want to give some love to Stanley Martin. Stanley Martin's a fantastic partner of the show. They build extremely well-quality, highly functioning homes. and Stanley Martin is all about integrity. Building homes that cater to people's unique needs and lifestyles. High quality, single family townhomes, detached homes, condominiums, designed and constructed with innovative techniques that ensure exceptional efficiency and aesthetic appeal. Stanley Martin Homes. Bob Yarborough watching the broadcast. Keith Smith watching the broadcast. John Torpy watching the broadcast. Mike Pruitt on the show. Don Gathers on the program. Dr. John Shabe on the program. Ton of realtors on the show. James Watson, hello. I see supervisors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 supervisors watching the program. Will you, viewers and listeners, be watching the State of the Union tonight? Elliot Harding said, off topic, but this came up yesterday with some folks that are in the know. What style of restaurant is the downtown mall missing? And Elliot said, Irish pub, raw bar, or Creole New Orleans sports bar. The most obvious slam dunk for me that's missing in Charlottesville and the city is a sports bar. Now, the Fox Den, I had this conversation on the squash courts yesterday with Evan Hayek, former two-time captain of the UVA squash team. Fantastic doubles player, Evan Hayek. I hope Evan Hayek hears. I'm giving him some props. And Evan and I think Evan's like 23 years old. He brought up to me because he knows that my wife actually just brought this up to me as well. Can you confirm it's called the Fox Den, Judah? I believe it's called the Fox Den.
Where is it?
It's in Hollymead, Forest Lakes. Yes, it's called the Fox Den. Charlottesville's new home for sports. It's an immersive experience where electric watch parties, craft pints, chef-driven eats, and private events can be held. Basically, this sports bar, and Evan brought this to my attention, 23-year-old, they have the only Guinness-specific kegerator, like with the actual harp.
Interesting.
They have sofa areas, like seating areas that you can rent out for large parties or reserve to watch your game of choice. They're doing an elevated sports bar at the Fox Den, which is very soon to open. They're opening right around St. Patty's Day and the Hollymead Town Center. This, I think, is going to crush it. The owner of the Fox Den sports bar, and is there a soccer field attached to it as well? Conan Owen, this is right up your alley. Go ahead.
That's what it says. The Fox Den sports bar and soccer fields.
They are the owners of the Charlottesville Blues Soccer Club. So they're vertically integrating the soccer club Charlottesville Blues, which is named for the Blue Ridge Mountains, with a sports bar that's soccer themed. I think it's pretty genius. Three Notch Brewing Company is the primary beer partner for the soccer team, and that's one of the main beers that is being served at the Fox Den. To Elliot's point, it's north of town, northern Albemarle County. So I think it's going to crush it in the Forest Lakes, Hollymead area. I also think this team behind the Fox Den is extremely intelligent because they see what's happening at Brook Hill and North Point and what Stanley Martin is doing in Greene County with 2,000 or 3,000 homes coming within, as the crow flies, a couple of miles of this sports bar. From a Charlottesville city-specific standpoint, we are clearly missing an Irish pub and a sports bar. McGrady's used to crush it. Do you guys remember McGrady's? McGrady's eventually gave way to Cho's.
Yeah.
And then McGrady's then gave way to Three Notch Brewing Company. Mm-hmm. One of the owners of McGrady's, Scott Roth, is one of the primary partners at Three Notched. McGrady's in its heyday on Preston Avenue crushed it. Mm-hmm. They used to have $5 cheesesteaks. Show me where a $5 cheesesteak is offered.
Yeah.
Show me where a $2 draft beer is offered. Seriously. Show me where you can go into a bar and get a sandwich or a cheesesteak and 2 pints of beer, tip, and walk out with change on your $20 bill.
Good luck.
No, where?
I'm saying good luck. I don't think there is a place. Not anymore.
One of the best deals in town. One of the best deals in town is what Selvage does on Selvage Brewery on Wednesday nights. Selvage Brewery has and I hope the Selvage team hears this, has a pint, a burger and fries for $12. And the burgers are banging. The food, they do a very simple menu and they do it extremely well. A pint, burger, and fries, only on Wednesday nights though. Vanessa Parkhill, her photo on screen, she says McGrady's was the best. She says, I expect the Fox Den to become a popular spot. It's going to crush it. Vanessa, I think you and Lee and your wonderful family are going to be enjoying a couple of pints and many a sports, many a game at the Fox Den. Elliot says, Scott Roth is good people. An Irish pub is a good thing no matter where you are. Tin Whistle used to do well. Our firm named that bar the Tin Whistle. Jackie Dunkel approached us about doing branding, signage, promotion, naming. Mm-hmm. Tin Whistle at one time crushed it.
I remember what it was going to be called.
We suggested that the Tin Whistle be called the effing pub. Literally the URL, the effing pub. And she loved it. But the financing, her business partner, the silent money that helped launch the Tin Whistle, said there's no way I'm going to put my money and call it the effing pub. So then we segue to the Tin Whistle Irish pub. And if it wasn't for beef with Alan Kajin, a prolific landlord locally, and Alan Kajin's got a lot of his locations vacant. Alan Kajin, owner Commonwealth Sky Bar, vacant. Alan Kajin's former Tin Whistle, which then transitioned to Tonic, vacant.
Vacant.
There's a lot of Kajin real estate locally that's vacant. Mm-hmm. Irish pub would crush. That being said, at this point, who would want to get into F&B right now? Curtis Shaver watching the program. He says, and Curtis Shaver would know this is the guy who owned Peloton Station. This is the former executive chef at Hamilton's, now out of food and beverage. Curtis, this is a testament to you and what I'm about to say. And I know you've noticed this. Since Curtis has gotten out of food and beverage and restaurants and operations of restaurants and gotten into a completely different line of work, he has better hours, better quality of life, spends more time with his beautiful wife, Julian Shaver, and has now purchased a home.
Congratulations.
And it hasn't been that long since he worked in food and I mean, Curtis, I know you know, he's one of the smartest guys I know. Mm-hmm. Since he's left food and beverage, better mental health, better physical health, he's developed a new hobby and passion, disc golf, spends more time with his wife, and has purchased a home. Look, if you're doing this right now, who would open a food and beverage business?
I think those that do it for the love, not for the getting rich.
Curtis says, for $20, you'd be hard-pressed to buy even the groceries to make the steak and cheese and have the 2 pints.
No doubt.
That's why I think that Wednesday special at Selvage, $12 is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger and fries and a pint for $12?
Mm-hmm.
And the burger it slaps.
I'll have to check it out.
Judah's like, well, I know what I'm doing for dinner tomorrow. Look at Judah right there. He's like, I'm going. Elliot Harding said Kajin was owner of Wild Wing Cafe as well. Rest in peace, Wild Wing Cafe. I got into so much trouble at Wild Wing Cafe of the legal and illegal variety.
Wow.
And whatever will replace the Wild Wing Cafe? You're talking what? Is that 3 levels? 2 levels and then 2 outside spaces, right? You got the main level, You got the second floor level and 2 outside spaces. It's a huge restaurant.
Yep.
Whatever is going to possibly take Wild Wing Cafe. I mean, think about the noteworthy empty. We should do this as a talking. This should be a topic on tomorrow's show. Sometimes I ask you to write things down and let's, can we actually make sure that this is a topic for tomorrow? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Noteworthy vacant storefronts. We've talked about that in the past. All of them tied to Stefan Friedman. The Commonwealth Sky Bar one. Commonwealth Sky Bar, empty storefront, vacant storefront. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
The Wild Wing Cafe.
Yep.
The Little John's, vacant storefront. The old La Michoacana location's about to be vacant because they're moving into the Stewart Street Domino spot. I believe, did the grand opening just happen, or is it happening the end of this week?
Oh, I forget the date. Was it March?
Was it this past weekend?
Was it early March, or I don't remember the date. But it's happening soon if it hasn't already.
Elliot and Curtis can help with that list. So could Vanessa. I mean, you have some of the most noteworthy locations right now that are currently vacant. Think of some other ones.
I mean, Draft Tap Room.
There's another one.
I love Draft Tap Room. I love choice and being able to pour your own. And it's such a shame considering the fact that we thought it was coming back for how long?
Conan Owen says the Fox Den is open now. They had a gold medal hockey game, breakfast and Guinness. The Fox Den in Hollymead near First Free Coffee. 15 15-inch TV screens or 15-foot TV screen. Good God, that's huge. The only harp tap in the state. Only harp tap in the state. That's what Evan Hayek was talking about with me. 6-foot TVs with seating, full kitchen. It was featured in Charlottesville Now yesterday. They need to come on the I Love CVille Show, the water cooler of content and conversation, really get the word out.
Isn't harp part of an official black and tan?
I think so. You would know that better than me.
I think it's Guinness and harp.
Is it Guinness top with harp?
Yeah.
With a harp floater?
Yeah.
Yeah. ACC Tourney Final Four grand opening is officially March 6th. Conan probably did the signs there for Sir Speedy, at Sir Speedy with him. Conan, we should put a list together, and I'm sure he has the list because one of the first people called when there is vacancies that are filled is his firm. Elliot Harding says Shadwell's could be great.
Yeah. It's never amounted to much in the last decade.
Pantops. The Landmark Hotel. Michael Payne deserves significant heat for so many things that have transpired in his 2 terms. Michael Payne, in campaigning for his first term for city council, was the reason, the main instigator for a broker deal with former Mayor Mike Signer and the Emperor of Empty Lots, as he was dubbed by Bloomberg. I've dubbed him the extorting Emperor of Empty Lots.
And I don't really think that's fair.
How do you not think that's fair?
How is he extorting?
He leaves properties in the worst case possible a step above blight in order to pressure jurisdictions local to offer huge tax breaks for him to do something at discounted price points.
Okay. But was that what he did here?
Have you seen the Landmark Hotel?
Well, yeah, but we have talked about a clear reason why he left.
It's a step above blight.
Yeah.
And he's not going to do anything until we open up taxpayer coffers to his 10 fingers where he can then go in DuckTales with the gold coins and put them in his JanSport and walk back to his G-Wagon.
Okay.
Now, he's going to say, I'm paying my taxes, Jerry. F you. That's what he's going to say. But Payne kept that deal from happening by basically saying in the shadows of August 11th and 12th, 2017, the two darkest days in Charlottesville history, that, hey, this government is going to give a sweetheart deal to an out-of-town white wealthy developer that Mike Signer, a white wealthy lawyer who's moonlighting as a Charlottesville mayor, brokered in clandestine nature, parking spaces in the Water Street garage, the key for John Dewberry and his hotel on the downtown mall. We shouldn't be giving them these tax breaks and these discounted parking spaces. And the Water Street garage, it's controlled by the city. And he used the collateral damage tied to A11 and A12 to get the city in a fury. And when the city was in a fury and Nakia Walker was all riled up, that deal went away and John Dewberry said, F you guys, I'm out.
Yep.
Oh, they bumped it. Jim Hingley watching the program, he said it used to be $12, the Wednesday special. The Wednesday special at Selvage is now $15 for the burger, fries, and the beer. It used to be $12. Jim Hingley, thank you for the clarification. It's wow. $3 bump. Selvage also did away with its automatic 20% gratuity added. And it's now back to the consumer to determine gratuity levels. James Watson says the Fox Den will crush it. They have no competition, lots of buying and spending power up there. 100% James Watson. That Hollymead, Forest Lakes area is going to crush. Getting in now, crush. My phone is blowing up right now. Conan Owen says the Trevinia space remains empty after years. It closed during the pandemic. $27,000 a month in rent for an Italian restaurant during COVID was not sustainable. Potbelly's sandwich on West Main Street and the Standard is vacant. And the restaurant space in Barracks Wing North, where Peter Chang's was. Judah, you had some color here for the Peter Chang's, which you added the other day to somebody that was in our studio.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm setting you up with a home run ball here.
I wasn't sure what you were talking about at first, but yeah, Taste of China over in what is it? Is that across from the old Pizza Hut on 29? Is a Taste of China. Was, I believe, started by Peter Chang as well, and they have several of the same. The menus aren't exactly the same, but they have several of the same menu items, like the cilantro fish rolls that my mom and I always get. Exactly the same as the cilantro fish rolls at Peter Chang's. So for anyone dearly missing Peter Chang's Chinese food, I highly recommend a visit to A Taste of China.
I got this text message from someone who asked that I did not use their name, that at UVA Health System and UVA Hospital, they're losing so many good doctors to other places. It's an absolute mess. That's from somebody I trust. This text message comes in. Jerry, you're right about the best places to work and the best hospital rankings. It's absolutely bogus. No one that works for UVA Health or the hospital would agree with those rankings. In fact, they would be insulted. 63 minutes straight here of the water cooler of content and conversation, which is the I Love CVille Show. Programming notes. Philip Riese will join us on the program on Thursday. And Carol Thorpe, you're 100% right. Michael Payne was campaigning for his first term on council. You know, Carol Thorpe is holding me accountable. I need to give her props. She's the queen of Jack Jewett. She says Michael Payne was campaigning for his first term on council when he blew up the Mike Signer, John Dewberry hotel deal that included parking spaces. Once Michael Payne started campaigning against the Dewberry, what he called sweetheart deal for a white, wealthy, out-of-town developer, then Dr. Wes Bellamy, who was on the council then, latched onto it and the whole deal imploded. And at that point, John Dewberry, who grew up in Waynesboro, played quarterback for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, now lives in Atlanta, said, screw this. I'm out of this town. and we are left for a generation, what, steel, graffitied cement, and electrical systems that are rat infested and covered with pigeon poo and rat rabies and disease and homeless urine. That's what we're left with right now. But it's okay. It's not blight. And he's paying his taxes. Look away from the rat rabies and disease, the homeless urine, the pigeon poo, and the crumbling electrical, breaking down cement, and the steel that has no structural integrity. We're going to sell it. We're going to sell it to a Hilton hotel franchise. It's on the market being promoted by out-of-market listing agents as a head start on a potential hotel. Georgia Gilmer says, hush, Judah. Nothing to see there, but the fish cilantro rolls are excellent. She's trying not to blow up that spot.
Oh, well.
Handsome Hank says, structurally, after all these years, is the Landmark Hotel even salvageable at this point? Or will it have to be raised for whatever ends up coming here? There's 2 out-of-market real estate brokers of the commercial variety that are pimping the Landmark Hotel to any national hotel brand that is willing to listen. And they're positioning the Landmark Hotel as a, air quotes, head start on building your hotel in hotel underserved market Charlottesville, where rooms routinely command $400 plus a night, certainly in Tony, downtown Charlottesville. I have seen the Landmark Hotel across the way from the 8th floor Wells Fargo building, as you have, Judah, many times, and literally across the downtown mall while looking through the windows of the 8th floor in the Wells Fargo building. I have seen the guts and interior of the Landmark Hotel like few other people have, and I don't see how possibly anything on that structure is structurally sound. I see the pigeon poo and the rat rabies and disease and the homeless urine and the graffiti. I don't see anything else of merit. But John Dewberry's paying his taxes. And Conan says, clarification. Peter is coming back. His space is under construction. He says the space that's empty was a chicken place, then was a bowls place. It's facing the entrance to Millmont. Is that where Padow's was located? Padow's Deli? That's vacant? I try not to go north of Barracks Road, and that's slightly north of Barracks Road. Barracks North. Jim Hingley says, tell Judah he's right about a taste of China. They have all my favorite Peter Chang dishes. Dry fried eggplant, Szechuan style.
Interesting.
You guys are making me hungry.
Yeah. I don't think they have everything, but they have quite a bit. And a lot of it is a pretty near match to Peter Chang's.
That's a talk show. That's an hour and 10 minutes straight for you. James Watson says, can a large hotel make money profit here during the work week now that we have more hotels? That's a great question. We're really about to find out as UVA brings another hotel to market in Conference Center. Yet they keep building them. I've heard through the grapevine that the guy who bought the Cork Hotel now wants out of the Cork Hotel. The guy who wanted to digitize the Cork Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
With iPads and touch screens for hotel room entry. I'll tell you what, when I go to a boutique hotel and I'm spending $500 a night, which is rare, and my wife and I, we disagree on this. We have 2 children. I am so pro hotel. She's so pro Airbnb. And she's pro Airbnb because we have 2 children, and it's easier with a 3-year-old and 7-year-old to have an Airbnb. I'm pro hotel because I like the hotel bar. And I like the pomp and circumstance of a hotel, of being pampered. Going through a lobby and waiting room, I like the structural integrity. We differ on this. But if I'm dropping $400 or $500 a night for a hotel, the last thing I want to do is not have a bellhop or a concierge or someone parking my car or someone taking my bags to my room. That better happen. I definitely do not want touch screens and iPads as if I was on my phone or at work every day. Building a boutique experience around touch screens and iPads and the digitalization of living today is the opposite of what we want. Hoteliers. Hoteliers, what we want is an escape from our everyday. And our everyday is always dominated by screens.
We don't want DIY.
Yeah. That's why I don't go to the checkout aisle at grocery stores. I'm going here and paying obscene amount of money for my groceries. Bag my groceries and swipe my stuff through the scanner yourself. I'm saving your job doing it this way. If I do it myself and bag my groceries and swipe the groceries myself, you will lose your job. You don't even know it.
Happen.
You will lose your job. Go to McDonald's to use a kiosk to order a Big Mac meal. Give me an effing break. I'm going to the register. Where's Betsy or Larry or Kenny or Big Steve or Henrique? Enrique.
There you go. That's a little better.
That's the talk show. He's Judah Wickower. I'm Jerry Miller. It's the I Love CVille Show, 71 minutes straight on the water cooler of content and conversation. We appreciate your viewership and listenership. Philip Riese on Thursday, chair, Albemarle County Republican Party. New talk show launching next week on the I Love CVille Show, a Q&A talk show, and big time momentum with JerryRatcliffe.com. Big time momentum. Stay tuned for those storylines of significance. My name is Jerry Miller. He's Judah Wickower.